Oh hey, what are you doing in my fridge? Well, I'm in here looking for vegetables so I can make some prints. So let's get started. To make these prints, I will need produce of my choosing, a knife, some paint, and some paper. I will be using lemons, potato, celery, and a bell pepper, but feel free to experiment with whatever you want. Now, as you can see, celery has a pretty cool arch shape on the bottom of it once you cut it. So I'm going to take some paint and take my celery and dip it in just as if I were stamping it. Once I do that, I can stamp it onto my paper. I used celery to make this rose print by just taking the bottom and stamping on the petals. Now let's see how the pepper will look. I'm gonna dip it in my paint and just get a little bit on it. We don't want to drench it in paint because then when we go to stamp it down, the paint will squish and we won't get the mark that we want. So I've put a good amount on. I just missed a spot right there, so I'm gonna touch it up. And now, when I print it, that's the shape it'll make. And I can try this as many times as I want. Now let's try using lemon. I'm gonna dip it in yellow paint, coating it all the way around just like I did with the other two. And this paint is a little bit thicker, so it's kind of hard to spread out. I'm actually gonna go in with my paintbrush to help me out, because we really want that thin layer. All right, now that that is done, let's see how it looks. Cool. You can also use leaves to make your prints if you want to paint on your leaf or dip your leaf in the ink. I think it's easier to paint on them just because you have more control. And now that I've painted my leaf, let's see how the print comes out. If you want to print a specific shape or design, you can actually carve it into a potato. You can also ask an adult if you need help with this. I'm going to take my knife and carefully cut my potato the long way. I'm doing it the long way because I need it for a longer print. You can also do it the short way if your print is shorter. Now from here, I can either go in with a little knife very carefully and carve out my design, or I can actually take a little cookie cutter and squish my potato into it. Now that my cookie cutter is successfully squished into my potato, I can take a knife and go along the edge and cut away a layer of the potato. Once I've cut away at all the edges, I'll pop off the cookie cutter and I will have my 3D shape. From here, I'm going to take my potato, dip it in my paint. I can also use my paintbrush once again to help me spread it out more. See, I have some extra, so I'm just gonna wipe it off a little bit. And let's see how the prints come out. Here's a butterfly. Alright guys, I hope this video was helpful. Thank you all for watching.